All right, this is recording 646. Okay, so this is a continuation. Okay, more that I have decoded out and a little bit that more people have been able to figure out. So this is glaringly obvious, and I don't know how I missed it with everything I've decoded with the word Jack and with everything I decoded with the word hi. But you know my second husband's last name is Jackie, Jacky. Okay. Jean Roberts used artificial intelligence. Okay, wait. Let me back up. Okay. You know that she did the World Trade Center attack. Okay. You know that she used the word hi as a part of several different types of flight paths in doing the World Trade Center attack. So you see all code on high. There's a whole bunch that goes to it. Okay. So when I lived in Slidell and I was first figuring out that she did the World Trade Center attack, I still didn't know it was her exactly. I was still in the throes of trying to figure out who did it. And at the time where I was out, that I had barely just started figuring out pieces of Charles Manson, but I didn't know who Charles Manson was yet. But I mean, I had already decoded, oh my gosh, what's his name? The guy's house. Oh my gosh, I can't remember what his name is. The name of the guy's house, Sharon Tate's husband's house. Okay. So, I mean, I was like, but I'm like, who? I know this name. What name is this? So, I mean, I had already started like decoding, but I didn't have it firmly into place yet that it was Charles Manson. At first, I thought it was the Ku Klux Klan. Okay. So, I mean, it keeps going, but then the Ku Klux Klan is involved. They've obviously been helping her, and I decoded even more of that because it is their funding that helps her run this racket. I decoded it all out. Now she's probably branched it out all over the place, but that's where her core funding was, and she had a little get away with it all because if it's a Charles Manson occult hiding underneath the Ku Klux Klan, and you try to say you're specifically speaking about Charles Manson, then Charles Manson turns around and tells lies and says, Christina's like taking up for the KKK. No, the Ku Klux Klan is guilty too. I'm talking about you, Jean Jernigan Roberts, and you also you've been in the Ku Klux Klan. I'm telling what I decoded. You using them as an umbrella to hide under because they are the obvious bad guy because they are the bad guy. So then you got another group of bad guys hiding underneath the bad guy. So all they do is deflect to the other bad guy and then they get away with it. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, I finally figured out this has taken me, I'm 9 years in of decoding Jean Roberts, Charles Manson ciphers, all the crimes she's committed. It is her occult that did this. It was Charles Manson. And she is affiliated with the Ku Klux Klan. She is in the Ku Klux Klan. So anyway, okay, so I told you, she used artificial intelligence on me all of my life. Just like she uses on a lot of other people. Okay, so she traffics children that way, and she abuses children that way, and she gets away with it hands free because nobody can see that it's happening to the child. So anyway, which is what she did to me when I was little. And she also assaulted me hands on when I was 2 months old. Okay, so I don't have to explain all that over and over again. Everybody already knows all of that. I'm just saying this goes to this. So she ice raped, she used AI on my second husband's family. Okay, and I know you know that from going through all the recordings, all the assaults she's committed on their family. Well, in this particular instance, it was the first time, I think it was like the first time that I met his daughter. I think it was the first time. I lived in Illinois and they came to see me. I was at work and she came in and I was like, "Oh my God, it's so nice to meet you." And she was really little. And it looks like from all appearances that she wrote hi on the whiteboard. Gene used artificial intelligence on her to do that. They said this also goes with Meet Your Maker. See all code Christina. I'm Christina. I decoded all the Meet Your Maker. She has this like thing going. She does this nuptials thing. She's got these wedding deals. She really has a lot of husbands, okay? But then she has like little acts where she's got little fake little nuptials wedding deals, okay? And she'll even make it look like by ice raping people the way they're walking, making it look like they're walking like down, you know how a bride walks down the aisle, the way they march down the aisle? She'll even make people do that. And then another thing that she does is people that she has paid to assassinate me or kill me. Okay, she also uses the Meet Your Maker theme. So it's like a meet and greet. So it looks like it's just oh, I want you to meet some friends of mine, and one of them happens to be paid to kill you. Okay, that's basically what that is. Okay, so she does that all the time too. So she was doing, so you'll just see all decoded ciphers on that. So she was doing that with his daughter. She was ice raping his daughter. So she wrote on the whiteboard, hi. Okay. Now, put the word hi with their last name together. It's hi, Jackie. Hi, Jack. She's literally bragging about doing the World Trade Center attack by icing a child, bragging about icing pilots, using artificial intelligence on them, and literally bragging about doing the World Trade Center attack. Using yet another child again. 60 years she's been at this. One child after the other. And like I told you before, like I was told when I lived in, I was in Texas, and I was told her abuse of children with artificial intelligence is so obscene and so great and so mighty, not mighty, so big, like so vast. She's trying to control my speech. So vast that to count the number of children that she abuses with this technology would be an obscene number. It would be uncountable. But if you count the number of children that she has mastered, you have to seal code on mastered, probably about 3/4 of a football field. If you look at this, look at a football field stadium, probably about 3/4 of a stadium, most of the stadium. Each day. And remember, everything she does is on purpose, on purpose, on purpose. So everybody's instantly going, oh my God, 3/4. Oh my God, football stadium. Everything she does is on purpose, on purpose, on purpose. Because if she keeps doing what you figure out that she's up to and she keeps doing that, then she's already figured out her way out of it by telling lies or running cons. I mean, she's got every trick in the book, which means she really does abuse that amount of children each day. In artificial intelligence alone. Babies all the way up. So she's literally bragging about doing the World Trade Center attack using her name. And having her write, you robotically controlling her to write hi on the whiteboard. Hi, Jack. Okay, so something else somebody wanted to point out to me is that there is something about, oh yeah, the Folgers, you know, she killed Annie Folger, okay? So, and you know she is an heiress to the Folgers dynasty, the Folgers Coffee Company, the Folgers dynasty. Okay, so another connecting point is fertilizer. You know how people use coffee grounds and eggs and stuff for fertilizer? So that would connect to the Oklahoma City bombing. And again, see all the really old Charles Manson crypt ciphers that I decoded way back from circa AIW. Well, it'd be before my life, but it'd be circa 1960s from decoding. I was decoding Charles Manson's letters that he wrote, and I could see his plans or the plans to do the Oklahoma City bombing in it. And she was icing him. See, all code. I got a whole bunch of Manson code decoded. And she can't say that she did not ice him. She iced him. I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm not saying he's not innocent. Like I told you in the beginning recordings, the topic isn't about the actual Charles Manson. He was charged for those murders. He went to prison for those murders. Gene Roberts went on, still leader as Charles Manson, grew the occult and did the World Trade Center attack and blamed it on everybody else. And is running around just Mrs. freaking as like she's Mrs. Bruce Springsteen. And nobody's arresting her. So I'm not going to focus on somebody who already served time. I'm going to focus on her because she is still committing terrorism. And she is not held accountable for the terrorism of the past. And she's stalking me and she's stalking my family. She's stalking my company. She's stalking my roommate. She's stalking my house. I've made reports against her, and I'm going to keep making reports. I know this is a hostage situation. I'm going to keep making reports until she's arrested. This is insanity. So, okay. So, also, in my kitchen, okay, remember I told you how she uses artificial intelligence on people to route into the environment, certain objects. She likes to set the scene with objects, just like she set the classroom scene when she did 9/11. Okay, so she loves to paint and set the scene. Okay, so anyway, one of the things she got was there's a little sign that says coffee in my kitchen. It's rectangular. Okay. What is that shaped like? Shaped like the Alfred P. Murrah building. You know what it says? It says coffee on it. And then in the little writing on the menu, it says Bianca. And it says 5 cents on it. So I know you already know Nichols, Terry Nichols, and see all code nickel. I decoded so much on nickel. I decoded so much on money. It's insane. There's a whole bunch that goes to nickel. And you know the Tate LaBianca murders. She's literally bragging about it. And the other thing is that it was lined against the wall. We have it we have it diagonal. And it's just making the kitchen look cute. I notice stuff, but I ignore stuff because I've already got her turned in. Okay. So I just live life like as normal, and when I'm not at work and when I'm not with my family, if I know she committed a crime or I have more evidence to submit to you, Secret Service, that she's committed these crimes, I'm going to keep making reports until you arrest her. There's nowhere safe. There's no city safe. Her occults are huge. Her occults are merging together, which I know you know that. Okay, so anyway, you cannot just let a terrorist child trafficker just run free and not arrest her. So anyway, the other thing she did was, so we have it like diagonal in the corner, and somebody pointed out to me, look how it's diagonal in the corner. It's making a triangle, and it looks like a flag fold. You know how you fold the flag, how you're supposed to properly fold the flag? What she's saying is, and there's nothing behind it, obviously, it's just empty air. What she's saying is, however she iced you or your roommates to position that, what she's saying is that she's going to get away with it. Because poof, she's in thin air. And she's under the assumption, I guess, that everybody doesn't know that she committed stolen valor. She cannot claim the United States flag, and she certainly cannot claim it folded. Even that folded flag, Annie Folger. So, anyway, also, I need to walk through this. Okay, so let me give the description of this to you. Okay, so you need my Red Mountain High School 1989 yearbook is what you need. Red Mountain High School, Mesa, Arizona. Okay, so there were, in my senior yearbook, the yearbook staff, they did this like little vignette or this little piece in the yearbook about how some people that we went to school with in our class were lookalikes or doppelgangers. Okay, so this is all ice, and I know you know that. Because what's she doing today? She's using doppelgangers. And then note the word doppelganger, Doppler, ganger, gangbang. Gangbang? She's controlling my speech. Gang up on. I tell you this. It's Gene Roberts, her brother and sister. We know they're Charles Manson. We know they're trashy people. We know that they are the ones who committed these crimes. So anyway, well, with the word, she freaking did that too. Like gang shooting. So anyway, so they did, but you can tell that they're perverts because Christina is talking about a child, and Christina is talking about herself as a child and how they just controlled Christina's speech just now. I'm telling you, these people, Jean Jernigan Roberts, ABL 27, her brother and sister need to be arrested. This Manson occult needs to be brought down. So anyway, okay, so in it, there's a thing where they're like, some of our students or some of our friends or whatever, it said look like celebrities. Okay, so all the lookalikes are all linked. Okay, so you've got it's gonna connect to. I'm going to just put this out. Parkinson's. And then Parkland. Then Cher. Then I'm a little teapot, short and stout. her drowning that little boy. And then there's another one. There was 3 pictures that were all linked together. So all of those linked. So she's literally bragging about, now mind you, you've already heard my recordings. She killed some of my classmates. So anyway, I think it's 3 pictures that go together. Okay, so all of that goes together. And then also back to the folded flag, also Patricia Kremrinkle. And then, okay, then also switching subjects, same thing again. Okay, so CL Code, I decoded a lot on poets, okay? I've got a lot of decoded ciphers that I did on poets, okay? Because remember, I told you it was her predecessors before her. And she refers to a lot of them because she thinks they're just hers to select and choose from, whatever she wants to do or get away with. So, or famous authors. So, this is another connection. So Emily Bronte goes to Dante's Inferno. Okay, and in this is also Fresno, California. Okay, and then here, so this is a continuation of ciphers I've already decoded. This is just more. So that comes from a movie that I used to love when I was little called Airplane. And the guy was bald. And he goes, Fresno? Nobody goes to Fresno. And that was a line I always said all the time when I was little. I just thought that was just so funny. Ah, Fresno. Nobody goes to Fresno. So that is a future sign of 9/11. Also Fresco, then also Fern. Also, if you combine Bronte and Dante, you get Brad, and then that also is AIW 70s. When I was in grade school, East Globe, remember the guy that set himself on fire? Then also in Bronte is the word piranha. Then in that is connected to Jackie Gleason. And then Gleason, then this is all in now going to the 2000s, the late 2000s. The actor from Glee was killed. She killed him. So Gleason, and then Jackie, okay, and then Jackie Gleason, the Honeymooners, Norm, and then that would go to Norman Schwarzkopf, and then Psycho, and also Brontosaurus is in this, Burger is in this, and then also Flint Stones is in this, Princess Diana. So CL Code on Princess Diana. I decoded so much for the royal family. So this would be AIW 70s before Princess Diana got married. Okay, so it's more connecting points for her life. Jean Roberts took her life, and she took Dodi Fayed's life. Okay, so this goes to, since this is that old, I know it's going, there's more that goes in this, but her wedding is in this, and then her death, and then the car accident, and you can see his car up in here, but if you looked at this closer, you would see that. Then earlier, this was yesterday, I was falling asleep, and she played a pin. You know how you pull a pin from a grenade? She pulled a pin from a grenade, and then she said something, but I don't know what she said. She popped off another threat. And then I heard the pin hit the ground. And she did that after someone was pointing out to me the gift that she gave to my dad, you know, her regalas. That doesn't mean people aren't going to use the word gala because you're a psychopath, Gene. And that doesn't mean people aren't going to use the word regalo or regalo as present because you're a psychopath, Gene. The world goes on despite your being a psychopath, and one day, hopefully, you will be executed, Gene Roberts. But anyway, her evil gifts, they're always double innuendos. So she gave my dad a gift, which he thought was like the coolest gift in the world. But now he's just like, oh my God. I mean, he doesn't say it like I do, but he's probably like, Jesus. So anyway, it was a white hand. It was a ceramic white hand, and it was holding a grenade. Just a hand, like a gloved hand, holding a grenade. So he pointed out, or someone that was talking using his voice pointed out, the grenade goes to U70's AIW with pomegranate. She also did that to me when she gave me that gift because my kitchen counters are granite. So pomegranate. And then she also is connecting that to cherry palm, which is underneath here, Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then also, I did have an article on here. Maybe it was, it's right here. I'm getting ready to talk about it. So, okay, so she said something and she made a threat. Okay, so whenever she does that, she actually commits terrorism. Like I told you, she does everything high and low. Whatever she's doing locally to me with their freaking Charles Manson goons, she's doing at high levels around the world and actually committing crime. So there's no telling what she's done. And that was like the third or fourth threat that she had made, like, in the past, like, 24 or 48 hours. So, okay, so I just read online also an article where a terror attack was thwarted. And it had to do with China, and it was thwarted in Russia. Okay, so I know that you were able to thwart that attack because you were able to connect and isolate based on my giving you my decode and my ciphers. I know she ran ahead pretending to be Charlie's angel informant, and it's all about her, and she's fabulous, and just forget that she committed the crime, and just let her just, continue to sell the women and children and make the money and commit the crime, and just let her, just silence me. And none of that shit's going to happen. I'm going to keep making reports against her. So anyway, I know you were able to connect the points because I know when you were listening to me when I was going through that with you, how I'm like telling you, look, see how this signal connects in here to Russia. This is the same cell network that is connected to Gene Roberts. And it doesn't mean that it's them at that end, because there's no telling how that's happening, whether it's ice rape, whether it's orders or manipulation. I mean, there's no telling at that end of it, but Gene Roberts committed that crime. So here's more evidence. It was Gene Jernigan Roberts that committed the crime. So she's using a bank reference is what she's using. Okay. So, I looked up, I can't remember what the word is now, and I don't have the article open in front of me. I looked up something in Russian, and it comes out to the word, it looks like a 6 with the line at the top of the 6, and then an A, and then an H, and then a K. And then if you look it up in Mandarin, it comes out to BANGK. Okay, so I knew when I saw it, Jean Jernigan Roberts committed this crime. And then she's also connecting is PCH Highway. She's connecting Fast and the Furious. And she's connecting the actual PCH Highway, see all code on that. And then see all code, obviously Punch and then Poncherelle and then on and on and on. Okay. Then she's also connecting PNC Bank, which is here in Tulsa. And then if you look at PCH and PNC, it looks like Penny Pincher. Okay, and then also she used Bangin' in Little Rock. She also, it looks like a revenge attack she did because she was mad and having a fit. So she was doing it on behalf of Ray Nagin because I let everybody know that she tried to sneak Ray Nagin's name inside her fake name, Jean Jernigan Roberts. That really is her name. But she's using a fake identity. That's what the world knows her by, but that's not really her name. She's lying about her name. So in creating her fake little name, she put Ray Nagin's name in it. So she was committing a revenge attack. And then also in the picture where the terror plot was foiled, as was pointed out to me, look here. They're showing me the picture like, Christina, look at this. It looks like 3 wine bottles and 2 gunny knives, and it's on an orange tarp. Now they're calling Jean Roberts Tarpa because she's got Tulsa under siege. She's got the city of Tulsa, Oklahoma basically held hostage. Like she's got a dome, like, under the dome, Hank from Breaking Bad is like what's going on in Tulsa. So somebody cracked a joke and said, well, you've got your HARPAs and you've got your DARPAs and now we've got TARPA. Which would be Jean Roberts and her Manson occult. So, anyway, the 3 wine bottles, that is the 3 Marine wine bottles that were next to her I Love Me Some Drum Major wine bottle on my dad's wet bar. See all code on that. And those 3 wine bottles represent a Bauhaus. And they represent people that she is holding in captivity in very different forms underground. And I've decoded the locations. I decoded everything. Some of it I have here. Some of it's at Tulsa Police Headquarters. Some of it's online. Remember, like, before Jean, like, hijacked all of this? I mean, thank God you make the recordings because everybody can hear what you're saying now. But before Jean was able to fully hijack this, the Marines, oh my God, they used to get so fucking pissed. They would make Jean be her own wine bottle. I Love Me Some Drum Major. And then every time Jean would talk, they would make the direction come from the wine bottle signaling. That's fucking Jean. That is Jean Roberts fucking doing that. And she'd keep popping off, and then her people would keep popping off. And every time one of her people would pop off, they'd stick them in the wine bottle. And then she made them so mad, they took their wine bottles. This is going on in my brain. They took the wine bottles off of the wet bar in the back. They're on the I Love Me Some Drum Major. And then she did that 13, also 1 in the 3. And then no, Jean, no, you're not going to do that either. She's like, oh, they're going to kill me. When? No, Jean, nobody even knows what you've been up to except you. And now that everybody is figuring it out, no, they really will kill her. No, they did not plan to kill her. Nobody knew she was guilty. So anyway, they took their wine bottles and they put them underneath in the little wine cabinet that's underneath the sink. And they were like, God, they can't even have their wine bottles next to her I Love Me Some Drum Major. So, meanwhile, she's done a hell of a number here in Tulsa because somehow she manages to convince military to help her, like, cover her butt because she's tricking them and making them think it was the military that did 9/11. It wasn't. It was Gene Roberts and her Manson occult. And she's still running around telling people that she's the only savior of the Marines that are held hostage and that they're starving and that everybody's going to suffocate and die if everybody doesn't do what she says. And I'm like, that is not fucking true. She does have hostages. 8 billion people around the world know that you, Gene Roberts, are holding people hostage. They know about the whole suffocation, everything. I told them every one of your freaking things. There's no way that can even happen now because I busted your ass for it. So I don't know why you are still lying to people telling them that. She's the one that's making those threats. And then she's acting like she's going to be the savior. And she acts like she gives commands, like she does give commands and orders, but because they know that you have a website online and you've gotten through to the White House, they don't have to. And I'm not talking about your nasty little fuckers. Every time I talk about anybody that is underground, Gene, you always refer to your little nasty fucking Epstein goons running up and down the fucking street, committing fucking terrorism and tricking women into freaking clicking pins for you. Nobody's talking about you and your nasty fuckers. My God. So anyway, oh my God. So the people that are underground in Abajos, okay, so they don't all necessarily have to take orders from her anymore. I don't know, it can't be the same situation. Like, I can't speak in general terms. I don't know the specifics. I just know that they are aware that I've gotten through to the White House. So I doubt her giving anybody any order is, I think she's having a harder time with getting away with that. I think she's more depending on people above ground that she's fooled to help her get away with crap more than her getting people below ground to do anything for her anymore. I think that she's hit her hilt and she needs to be arrested. So the gunny knives, okay, so CL code on the gunny knives, AIW 70s, okay? So she's referring to herself with the two knives. So all this is on purpose. Like, she did this. So she had to ice rape them, obviously. So she's referring to herself, and then she's referring to my dad as they're like a happy little gunny sacking couple. And they're just mad. And she's acting like China did it. And China's real pissed off today. Because she is claiming that there's a group of people that are claiming that they are China, and which is Gene Roberts and her Manson occult. They claim they're everyone. They claim they are everyone, every group of people everywhere. Well, China's pissed. They're pissed. You are ice raping people. You're using artificial intelligence on people, and you are conning people. You are the ones committing this attack. So she's trying to make it look like China, on the other scope of this, if it would have went through, it would have looked like she was getting her way with her little mic droppy. On the other scope of this, she's got it looking like the Chinese are just chasing after her. They're just chasing after her, and they're just trying to frame Gene and set her up. The important thing. Where she's seeking like a fake pity. And she's reaffirming the two gunny knives. Okay, the gunny knives goes to my childhood. My dad wasn't even around, but she's stealing my childhood and because she wants to be your dad's daughter. So she wants to reaffirm her relationship and she wants to go. So there, I do not give a shit. I give a shit that you're a psycho and you're a child trafficker and a child abuser and a terrorist, and you try to make my dad look like a fool. And I got to get on here on a public recording and make reports against your fucking psycho ass. She acts like I would care, like I would ever even give a fucking shit. So, I mean, like that even needs to be conversation. Jean Roberts is a psychopath. She just assumes that she just gets away with anything. She'll just do what she wants. So anyway, you can tell Jean Roberts definitely committed that crime. Then also in that is Patty Hearst. And then Patricia Kremrinkle is in it. And I found that in Pyatigorsk. So Jean Roberts committed that crime. And I'm glad that you were able to foil the terror plot. And this is the stupidest, slowest car chase ever, because I'll get up tomorrow and her goons will be on. I'll stop talking minutes from now when I get done recording this. And they'll be on, Jean Roberts will be on in my brain. Telling her lies, running her stunts as usual. Tomorrow will be the same thing until you guys arrest her.